Welcome to City 31. During Advent's occupation, the city was a fortress supporting an active starport. 5 years after XCOM won the war, it's home to aliens, hybrids, and humans alike. There's new industry, self-government, and local agriculture to support the varied populations. Against all odds, this city thrived after the war. There were no retributive attacks.
Until tonight.
We don't know that. Not yet. But we can find out. 3-1 PD requested our help sifting through evidence at the Memorial Museum. They lost good officers today. Give them what they need and see what we can learn. Your work with 3-1 PD opened a few doors. Here's what we know. A crude plasma bomb killed the mayor. The insurgents had no access to materials for that.
Does that mean they had outside help?
Most likely. There are 3 groups in City 31 with access to this kind of ordnance. Sacred Coil is what happens when former Advent officers find religion, or create one. They claim to be the true path for City 31's hybrids, as long as that path involves armed sedition.
Director, these are local criminals. Isn't that 3-1 PD's jurisdiction?
True. The Reclamation Agency supports local police, but we're also required to recover dangerous material.
From those who would do the world harm, and each of those groups is neck deep in the stuff. So what next?
Focus on a single group. Investigate, dismantle their operations, and take them down.
Meanwhile, we look for any links to the mayor's death. Either way, a dangerous organization is off the streets.
Exactly. The city wants justice for Mayor Nightingale. This is how we help them achieve it.
The director convinced the city council we're too understaffed to be effective. This means patchwork. When did you get in?
Not so long ago.
What's wrong?
I spec'd out a whole workshop for our field office.
Which is currently sitting in a warehouse while they finish the building. I'm sorry.
I'll be fine. I just need to find a place to tinker.
Pick any open floor space.
There's so much of it.
Check it out. Headquarters sent us an assembly. With the right patterns, we can build anything. Or we could with the latest version. What you're looking at is the extremely finicky 2038 model. It'll take time to stress test our patterns, but once we have them, we're good to go. We are not the police. If you see a theft, call it into 3-1 PD and move on. Earlier this week, a security camera spotted Sacred Coil flunkies sniffing around this warehouse. Today, the silent alarm went off. The place is full of Advent-era contraband on the way to a tech vault.
So we're stopping trespassers at a warehouse?
Heavily armed trespassers.
Better.
At a forbidden warehouse.
Interest officially peaked.
Stay behind me.
Open sesame.
Sacred Coil stole specialized mech parts. The kind you can't easily replicate.
Advent used those mechs to sow terror. Sacred Coil may have similar plans.
Breaching in. Got my target.
Sacred Coil is on the run. Don't lose them in the warehouse.
Stay behind me.
It's go time!
We're here for that target.
Shifting position.
If Sacred Coil went after mechs, they need soldiers. But for what army? They were underground until Mayor Nightingale's election drove them to the surface. Their hatred for her gave them motive. Find out if Sacred Coil had the means to carry out an assassination.
An emergency session of the City Council voted 5-4 against the citywide curfew. Councilor Parada spoke for the majority.
There is no need for such extreme measures. Mayor Nightingale's death is a tragedy, but
I'm authorizing Chimera Squad for special operations. Some ops provide useful
Our temporary field office has all the basics. Weapons, comms, and ammunition. Supply is where we request everything else. As long as it's in the squad's budget, it's ours.
Reclamation links Sacred Coil to a variety of City 31's missing persons. All human. Stop these human abductions and recover them from Sacred Coil. Time is of the essence.